Oh,
Okay.
man. Okay.
Yeah, but I could see the BRZ, like, it's no longer a Subaru, and it falls under a performance brand, STI.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, but that's the only way I see it, the BRZ continuing in any form of Subaru line at all.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd actually
sorry.
love to see that. If STI kind of buds off entirely and takes the BRZ with it and gives us some variations on that, that would be very cool. And what did Subaru do? They kind of drew a line in the sand between their adventure line and their performance line. So that would be even a further validation of that. Like, here are two, or if the WRX, the VB continues on, here's our three
It's dead.
road-going models.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, that's been that topic has been raised again, and I'm
It died in Australia today. Like,
The
they're
WRX?
done in
announcement today.
Australia with a VB.
they're done with it, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
So interesting.
I can't stress this enough. We're getting an STI.
Is there a world where there is no WRX offering and it's just an STI? Because I don't see that.
Absolutely.
There
I
should be.
100%
Really?
see that.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think that nameplate pulls any weight that we think it does.
But
I don't
what about
think
the
WRX
stepping
I don't
stone
think there needs
element
to
of
be
it?
a WRX to be an STI.
We all started with a WRX before we got into STIs, right?
I get that, but that's
No, I
because
started
we
with an
started there
STI.
because it was the only thing.
Well,
that
we're not all millionaires, Tanner.
I'm not either, Art.
But we would have, if we would have got the WRX and the STI at the same time as a bug eye, at least half of us would have started with an STI.
Yeah, but the
We
other half
started with
wouldn't
the-
have. That's the point.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we would have, though. A bunch of us would have. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have. The performance model would have been that. We all would have wanted 6 speeds and all that crap right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but we started with our WRXs because it's all we had. I don't
Well, but
think
it was-
the
the
WRX,
WRX was-
nameplate needs to be here.
The WRX was way more attainable. That's the thing.
Sure.
That
But is it?
10,000.
I mean, I guess Subaru did the price drops now, so I guess they are a little bit more affordable, but they're still super expensive
crazy.
now.
No, but we have to look at inflation. We actually had this discussion,
Yeah.
I don't know, months ago,
Very
where
true.
WRX is actually more affordable than they used to be in
Yes.
0203.
But
It's
here's
kinda
the
weird.
thing is, I mean, I remember when I got my first WRX in 2003, I could afford that. And then like when the 04 STI came out, like it was $10,000 more, and
Yeah, it was
there was
32
just
grand.
like there was just no way that I could stretch to get that car. Like it was
Is
not
it-
even a
was it
consideration
also-
for me.
Just the standard of living is kind of wonky. Like, okay, there's your car. You have your house, the biggest expense. You have your car, your secondary biggest expense, and then you manage all the little stuff. But now the little stuff has kind of engulfed everything else. Like, the groceries are expensive, and gas is crazy expensive, and everything is mounting to the point where it doesn't even make sense to buy a brand new car anymore and take on that payment because you're stretched so thin everywhere else.
True. Well, and just like new cars, the expense is so much higher. I mean, when I was in my 20s and I bought my first WRX, I mean, a new car was not even on the agenda. I got a lightly used car, and I think if I was in the same situation now, again, like I would be 100% just only looking at the used market. Like a new car would not even be on my horizon, just because it was like the price gap there was just so high.
So
I
to
just wanna
me,
throw
what
this
the
out here,
answer
though.
is you take the VBWX, you continue it on, but you only offer the most base model at the cheapest price possible to still give people an entry point. And then you bring out the Concept B, you price it hopefully within that like 50 to 55 that we can all sort of agree would be an attainable amount. And there you go. You have your 30-some thousand, you have your 50-some thousand, choose your own adventure.
I
Well,
personally
and
think
that's
the
a
WRX
$20,000
keep under
gap.
Subaru too. Like they keep that as a Subaru. That is your kind of performance-y sedan, but like it also draws the line in saying this is, STI is a different line. They can be more premium with that and get away with it. Then just I want to throw this out here: 32 grand, 2003, the 04 STI release, and it was $32,000. All right.
Yeah.
Adjusted for inflation, 56 grand today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, which is exactly what we think the new STI is going to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not that crazy, and honestly, even that $20,000 gap, if it is just the entry level WRX, and if in the STI is 55, it makes sense. It would kind of be the same barrier if you can just stretch and get the WRX and you couldn't get the STI, but then that's what makes the STI so cool. Is it's the halo, it's the brass ring that you're always reaching for. And that's why you want to get the parts. This is what Subaru always forgets, is that they sell parts too. It's not like they sell a car and that's it, and they never see these people again.
It's
They
such
sell
a small
parts
portion
too.
of what they're selling, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't think it
mean,
is
it can't
anymore,
be.
but it was then. I think they're starting
Yeah.
to realize it's a bigger deal now. Hence, you're getting these heritage things.
Yeah.
But like it for a long time, that was not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like as they sold more WRXs, time went on, and like they keep accruing. Like every new year where they make more, there's now more used WRXs and more people driving them and want to keep them
Sure.
on the road, want to keep them running well.
There's a lot of us now.
Yeah,
You know what
and
this
so
makes
like
me think of?
yeah.
The Supra effect. For me, the latest generation of Supra is I don't like how it looks. I don't like that it's a BMW. I am one of those guys that's kind of elitist towards that. When I heard new Supra is coming, I had high hopes for, you know, the 3JZ or whatever was going to be coming, and we know that never happened. But
Yeah.
I think they really dropped the ball with between the 86 and the Supra. There's such a gap in price, in performance, in fit and finish, everything. And for a while there was discussion that they were going to start kind of narrowing that gap in and giving the 86 more power, maybe some more options, just making a more well-rounded car as a stepping stone into the Supra. And I
I
always
don't
thought that
agree
was
with
a
you.
really good idea because you have like you need that top shelf car for something to aspire to, but you also need to be able to get in and support your enthusiasm for that brand and then make that leap or not make the leap, whatever it is. They sell a bunch of the cheaper ones and then eventually they sell some of the more expensive ones, and some people are able to do that. That could happen with the WRX and STI, but not if they pull it off the table.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
The gap between the like say a higher end BRZ or GR86, especially with tires or whatever, you get the one with the good brakes and whatever, and then you would have to compare it to the 4-cylinder Supra, which nobody bought.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even cross my mind that
Exactly.
existed, to be honest.
A good driver in a BRZ would go neck and neck with anybody in that 4-cylinder Supra. Okay, just stock for stock, even though it was way lower on power. This is one of the things we get really hung up on horsepower numbers when we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
There's so much more to performance, and like they would turn a lot more similar lap times than you would even think. And then honestly, that gap even to the stock 6-cylinder Supra wasn't as far as you would think. The numbers make it seem like it's this giant gap, but it honestly wasn't. It's just when you're reading it in Car and Driver and you see this one has 200 horsepower and this one has 400 horsepower, it's double the horsepower. But you also totally forgot there was a middle ground and nobody cared.
Well, yeah, you're right. But also remember that 400 horsepower can get tuned to 600 real easy. And so you can make that power gap very significant. And yeah, I guess you're right. The 4-cylinder fits in the middle and they just never sold. Nobody wanted that one.
Nobody wanted them.
It was the EcoBoost Mustang.
I would also disagree because on the fact that you said that somebody has to get into the lower end model to support the brand. Why does somebody have to buy a bottom tier car to support a brand for a Halo car that they want? Like personally, I bought one of my dream cars recently, my RS6. Just because I bought that doesn't mean that I have to go into Audi and buy one of their lower tier level cars if I can't afford the RS6 yet. Why do I have to be brand loyal to a company for a car that I want that may not be another one? Like, I don't agree with the fact that you need a stepping stone in order to get to the Halo car, the one that you want from that brand.
I guess my assumption is for an auto manufacturer, the higher volume cars, I mean, either it's higher volume, lower margin, or the other way around. I'm not sure, but I know they have to sell a bunch of the base model Corollas so they can afford to build the GRs, because they're going to sell 10,000 more Corolla SEs.
But
I agree, but using the Corolla example, why I don't want a Corolla. Like I had a GR, I loved it, but as somebody who liked car, why would I want to buy into a lower trim of that car if that's not the one I want? Personally speaking, and I know other people feel the same way, if they're wanting a car and they buy a lower version of it, they're never happy with the lower version because it's never the one that they originally wanted.
I disagree with that because of WRXs. WRXs are the antithesis because people are happy with WRXs.
Because it's closer to the STI.
Then why do people go from WRXs to STIs?
And you could mod a WRX that like it
STI.
basically is the same car but slightly less. You could take pieces off the STI and make it. It's also why like 6-cylinder Mustangs suck ass, but they sell a pile of them. But Mustang GTs, they sell a bunch of them because you could make that a Cobra. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can do the same thing with a WRX going to an STI.
But
This
is it
so
possible?
then reinforces the point that they should keep the VB and make the STI, because you can make sort of a baby concept B sedan.
I'm not saying they
albeit.
shouldn't. I'm saying they should make it an STI. They shouldn't be the STI branding. It should
But
stay.
is it possible that this stepping stone is one of the keys to success for Subaru? The fact
Yes.
that, like for
Yes,
me, like for
absolutely.
me at the time in 2003 when I got my first WRX, I could not have afforded an STI. 2004, like there's just no way. It never would have happened. So I couldn't have gotten into the brand. I mean, honestly, like if there was no WRX, I don't think I would have been doing this for 20 years and selling Subaru parts, because I would not have been able to get that car
I
to
agree
get
with that.
to get excited about the community and be a part of the community and do all of this stuff. And
Stepping stones.
it's yeah, it's the WRX is like what got me in there. And see, like again, like the BRZ, if they use the BRZ like in the same way, like have another tier, a higher tier of the BRZ, that catches a different kind of person, a different kind of enthusiast that gives them that same
we
path.
have 20 years of used market Subarus that if somebody wants to get into the Subaru community, they can
That
at this
is
True.
That's something like I know people are going to say get a new car or whatever, but you can buy a really late model STI for cheaper than you can a
I
WRX
was
right
stunned.
now. And,
I was
and you
stunned
should-
how cheap STIs are
better
now.
car.
Yeah.
And with all this talk about STI hatchbacks, GR STIs are very affordable. Go get one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that kind of like going back to this, I don't think the VB needs to exist for the STI to be successful.
Oh, boy.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Well,
see about that.
as we're winding down here, you guys have to let us know in the comments, what do you think? Does the WRX has to exist for the STI to be successful, or for the STIs to exist, or would Subaru be Subaru if there was just an STI and there was never WRX?
Yeah.
That is that's a hard
You know what
one.
I love about all of this discussion? I cannot wait for 2, 3, 5 years down the line where we can start sticking it to one another.
Yes.
And because this stuff will actually happen, or it won't happen, and
Yeah.
somebody here will be right.
What
And I love
somebody's
that
gonna
we
be?
have-
I told you so. Like Tanner's gonna be up there. I told you there was never gonna be an
Everyone's
STI.
gonna be
Doesn't
ganging up on
happen.
me, or I'm gonna be ganging up on everyone. That's how it's gonna
Oh
go.
That's
my
right. That's
God.
right.
Eventually, we will need like a scoreboard, and I think it's going to
Yes.
start with the concept B is going to be the start of that board of like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what it's priced at. Is it coming? Is it not coming? Did we get it in the US? Like all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's going to be fun.
Check. You scored 6
Yeah,
out of
it's
30.
just everybody's face where they voted on this.
Yeah.
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 And the best part is we can clip the old episodes where I'm
Yes.
yelling, "This is definitely coming," and it never fucking does.
Oh man.
So, it's gonna
Don't
be
say
good.
that.
We're all
Don't say that,
surprised.
Art.
We're
just
all
admitted I was
buying
right, I'm
Plug
just saying.
Eyes again.
Yeah.
If you like these episodes, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because your support is what makes all of this possible. As always, this show is brought to you by Flatirons Tuning, your premier source for any Subaru OEM or aftermarket parts. Check out our website at flatironstuning.com, and as always, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.